Hello, good evening everybody. Welcome to a Monday night version of Reclaim Radio. With myself, just Kyle here. How you all doing? If you'd like to get in contact with, well, I was going to say basically the gist of this, I'm just testing out some new technology and other bits and pieces. So, you know, there's nothing to actually talk about that much. I will come onto the papers in a couple of records' time. But if you'd like to get in touch with us on Twitter, it's at ReclaimedRadio1. That's the number 1, at ReclaimedRadio1. Find us on Facebook as well, at Reclaim Radio. And you can also give us a ring on 0161 818 2627. That's 0161 818 2627. If you want to ring in about anything that's crossed your mind that you would like to talk about. So yeah, we had some technical hiccups there. I don't know what quite was going on, but I think I've resolved it now. Adequately. Sufficiently, you might say. I know I have one listener. I believe the Clerkenwell Kid has managed to tune in. And nobody else knows that I'm doing this, so this could be a very unique broadcast, Anthony. This could just be one for you. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, right, I think I've talked quite enough. Like I said, I've no other content planned at the minute, you know. Let's just see whether we can string this out till 10 o'clock. Okay, so without further ado, let's get on with some music right here on Reclaimed Radio.
You're listening to Kyle Rickards on Reclaimed Radio.
So that was Elvis Costello there and Doll's Head. So if you're on it, it's Doll's Revolution. And after that was Lovers in a Dangerous Time by the Bare Naked Ladies. You're listening to Kyle on Reclaim Radio. Don't forget, if you'd like to get in touch with us, you can do that on Facebook and Twitter. If you use Twitter, it's at ReclaimedRadio1. Facebook, you'll find us on Reclaim Radio. We've got a YouTube thing that we put bits and pieces on as well. You can also give me a ring on 0161 818 2627. So tonight's show is a bit of a strange one. As I say, it's bits of me testing the technology, and I'm glad I did, I can really well tell you, because lots of settings have mysteriously vanished. Anyway, I might have to put those right, hence the slight delay at the start of the show. Also on Friday's show, which was tremendously popular, and I'm led to believe, and my brother was in with me, I didn't actually press record, so that is lost to the mist of time. However, we did talk about, I think Vicky started it with hashtag sad banana, and it was what fruit would you be and what expression would you have. So there we go. So I'm just trying to remember bits and pieces of last week's show. We had Colin do his usual science update, which Glenn seemed quite fascinated about. I was busy, obviously, or else I would have paid more attention, but I'm sure it was very good, and now I will never get to listen to it back, you see. The other thing is just bits and pieces, really, that I can remember. I've been through the papers today, and I have to say, it's shocking. I did attempt to do some research for this evening's impromptu show, and it was just appalling. I bought the Daily Mail, which I know is stupid, and it was just rubbish, and there was a story in there about bacon causing cancer, but then the Daily Mail says everything cures cancer, then it would say next week bacon cures cancer rather than causes it, and it was, do you know what, it was just depressing. It was proper depressing. I was not enjoying that, and I felt like, I don't know, chucking myself off a building by the end of it. It was just depressing, and lots of tips about how to look better, and right, faff and palaver, I can't be bothered with it. So yeah, as I say, not much to talk about really. Glenn gave us an update on the medals, I believe, on Friday. I believe we've won even more since then. But there we go. Right, I'll just play some more music then, because as I say, this is a test show, and if you can hear it, then boy, you are lucky people. Right, so Reclaim Radio, Kyle, Edie Buckel, What I Am.
Chance I get, it's my girl's pussy. Seldom plays and never purrs, and I love the thoughts it stirs, but I don't mind because it's hers, my girl's pussy.
Whoa! Let's not have any more of that. I was trying to find an old style musical song for my good friend the Clerkenwell Kid, and that was not quite what I expected. I believe we have a call on the line. Caller, can you hear me?
Hello, yes, I can hear you.
Oh, hello, how you doing?
I'm not too bad. Still enjoying Manchester.
Oh, Manchester.
I'm still practicing.
Cool. It's getting there. I can hear it in the voice.
Manchester. No, I'm overthinking it. I have to stop overthinking it. I'll practice some more for next time, but wow, it's lovely to hear you on a Monday night.
Do you know, I'm rubbish at doing days now, so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, today is Monday. Do you need me to build you a day clock like I've made for my gran?
Now, you see, what I could say now, and I hope you feel awful due to, is because I have trouble because of what happened to me some years ago. I have trouble working out the days of the week. Okay. So I think you were mocking me for what is technically a disability. So.
Oh, well. I'm just trying to help. My parents actually borrowed it off my gran, and they kind of kept it longer than they should have because they loved it. Mm-hmm. And I've got a version on my phone from a prototype, and actually I've still got it on there because I like it too. So I'm mocking myself and my parents as well then.
Okay, well I shall say it is a Monday. I need a big clock in front of me in the studio saying today is a Monday. As I say, I've nothing to talk about, Fern, because there's been literally nothing of note in the papers.
Well, I have lots to talk about.
Oh, go on then.
Something that really got my goat today.
Go on.
Right. As a little backstory, I've been telling everyone how nice tea tastes up here because the water is softer than in the south. Yeah. Yeah, so tea, rule of thumb, tastes lovely up here. Doesn't matter what tea bag you use, it's good. Really good cuppa, okay? So now, I've been to this, I'll say a coffee shop chain. Mm-hmm. And on 2 occasions, they have done the same thing. And I will describe how they've made my tea, and you can see if you can spot what they did wrong.
Okay. I will try.
Or it may be more than one answer, so listen carefully.
Okay.
Right, because this has really got my goat. Okay.
Were you clearing your throat then?
Sorry?
Were you clearing your throat then?
Yes, I was. I was preparing myself for this tirade.
To get a full run-up?
Get this off my chest.
Okay, well, I'm listening to you.
I'm really het up because I love my tea. Okay, so first of all, they're using a hot water machine, which isn't going to be 100 Celsius. So the same lady's done this both times. She's put the hot, not boiling water into a teapot and put the lid on and then put that on the tray. While that's cooling down, she's very slowly got a tea bag out and put it on a little saucer. Then she's put a really tall, like a sundae glass on the saucer, very slowly. Nice, long, tall sundae spoon in the glass, then slowly taken payment. Leaving me to waddle over to my table. And then I've actually got to try and make my own tea with water that's probably about 70 Celsius in a sundae glass. So what's going on there, Kyle?
Well, I would say the ideal cup of tea, I would say, is freshly boiled water. I would have the tea bag in the cup already. I can't believe I'm reduced to this. I would add the water to it. I would let it steep for at least 2 to 3 minutes, longer, as my friend Anthony knows at work. And then tease it with a hint of milk. So it's like a builder's tea, and then that to me is the perfect cup of tea. Although that could be a phone-in for Friday night, because this is kind of a hybrid show. So we could be road testing ideas for Friday. So that we could do that on Friday.
But can you imagine? I mean, I think it's quite a good idea, because everybody's got their own slightly different preferred way of making a cuppa.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they've actually gone to the trouble of using a teapot as well.
Do you know, I read something a while ago. I think it was Mark Williams, maybe. He was in the Fast Show and things. And he has a vast aversion to accepting cups of tea from somebody. And he said it's because people make cups of tea, and they do it in the style they would like it, not in the style that the person receiving the cup of tea would enjoy it.
Oh.
And you know, he's got a point, because I have often, and again, I'm you know, I need to call my learned friend Anthony. You know, people have made me cups of tea at work, and do you know what, Fern? Between you and me, it's a bit ungrateful. But I've honestly known them to throw them away. I've just said I can't drink it, and people have made me a cup of tea. People have made me a cup of tea and looked at it because it's too milky and said, "Do you know? I've just looked at that, and there's not a chance you're going to drink it."
That is a little bit rude, but can't you describe how you like your tea first? Because if I go and make tea for someone, I always ask them how they like it.
I do. I do.
You say you like lots of tea in it and not much milk.
I do. I always say, please, if somebody says, we like a cup of tea, I say, oh, can I have it like a builder's, please? And just a wee hint of milk, I always say. And that usually does the trick.
Or maybe they misinterpret the wee ingredient.
What, do you think people actually wee in a cup of tea?
Well, I don't know, but if you're regularly ungrateful for what...
I just think they don't brew up. There's only Anthony brews up for me these days.
Well, I'm sure most people could make a builder's tea.
Do you think?
Well, I guess you're going to have to take that on the streets, do a vox.
Do a vox? What, in Rochdale? I'll have me recording nicked out my hand.
Yeah, just find a power socket or sort of daisy chain power sockets from somewhere in a coffee shop that you found a sort of a socket where they hoover from, and then take that outside with a kettle and stuff, and see how people make your tea, and reject most of them, and then see what happens.
I could do a review of teas, by the way. That's what I could do.
Well, yeah.
I might. Well, go on, sorry.
There's so many different types of tea bags, and sort of when I was living in the south, down on the south coast, so as far south as you can go and still be in this country, I resorted to really strong tea bags to make a decent brew.
Hang on, when you say you went as south as you can while still being in this country, do you mean the Isle of Wight?
Oh, you've got me on a technicality. Yeah, I take back what I said.
Would it be more correct to say you were on the England mainline?
Yeah.
Mainland. Yeah.
Do apologise. Thank you for picking me up on that.
It's all right. That's what I'm here for.
It's a very good saying.
To help guide you through these hoary land mapping decisions.
Quagmires.
Indeed, quagmire is a superb word.
Good for Scrabble, I find. So, yeah, I was buying quite expensive, strong tea bags, and some of them said, sort of, am I allowed to say a brand name?
Well, you can do, because I don't have sponsorship at the minute.
Even if they're from the wrong side of the Pennines, I did like a Yorkshire tea.
Well, that's not a brand. Well, I suppose it is a brand name. Go on, you can have that.
No, it is a brand. It is a brand.
You can actually get Lancashire tea. You can get Lancashire tea. Do you know that?
I've seen that, and I'm interested to try. But going back to my story, when I was actually in Yorkshire, I was telling someone how much I loved Yorkshire tea. So they went and bought loads of it for me, and then they made me a cup of tea in Yorkshire with Yorkshire tea, and I couldn't drink it. It was so strong.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful.
I couldn't handle it with the soft water.
You want the tea? You want the tea? You can't handle the tea.
No, I can't handle the tea. I had to take the Yorkshire tea bags back down south with me, but just have sort of weaker, normal tea bags in Yorkshire, and which is what I'm using in Manchester.
Oh.
So, as you said, you could review some tea. It completely depends where you are in the country.
Well, I might add that to my scratch pad of ideas for Friday.
Oh, it's going to be a corker of a show, isn't it?
Do you think so? It should be me on my own again on Friday, so that should be... but as long as I remember to press record, which I didn't do on Friday spectacularly.
You didn't record my raspberry.
I didn't record your raspberry. In fact, would you like to... You can recreate that now, and this will be like a best bit, and I'll put this out as a podcast.
Okay, let's rewind. Okay, so you're going to ask me what fruit I am. Go on.
Right, okay then. So we were talking about fruits before and what emotion you would have. So, Fern, what fruit would you be?
The fruit I would be the summer fruit, the raspberry.
And why would you be a raspberry?
How would it sound?
Right, and how do they sound? Brilliant. Right, I've got to let you go now. Thanks for ringing, Fern. Ta-ra!
Bye-bye.
Something for the weekend there by the Divine Comedy. So, I said Kyle on Reclaimed Radio. This is a weird show because it's kind of a hybrid of some of the best bits of last week's show, but with all new material. And some of the songs you might hear this coming Friday as well. So, I believe we have Andrew on the line. Andrew, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
How you doing?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. I'm well. I'm well for a Monday night.
Yeah, it's good to hear you on a Monday.
Thank you. I thought I'd give it a try. See what would, as opposed to, I don't know, doing 9 till 11 somewhere.
Yeah.
But there we go.
Not bad. I just wanted to follow up on Fern's tea issue.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of things from a tea connoisseur, if you want. I have been called in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like your milk in first or after?
I put my milk in after, and I get very annoyed if I put too much milk in.
Well, yeah, I've seen you get frustrated when there's too much milk in, because you like yours dead strong, don't you?
Yeah, I will literally tip it away. I can't drink it. People think I'm being rude. I physically cannot drink it if it's like that.
But do you know why it became an issue whether you should put your milk in first or your milk in last?
No, go on.
Piece of information I found it was all to do with years and years ago when there was china in your china cups. If you had delicate china cups, you couldn't put the hot liquid straight into the cup, so you had to put the milk in first to cool the liquid down.
No, it's rubbish.
To temperature.
How do you know how much milk you've got in your brew?
Well, this is what we're...
Balderdash.
Bullshine.
Balderdash.
But as things progressed, China got thicker and thicker, so then it was...
Bit racist, mate. I'd be careful about saying that.
Hey. But then it was perceived that if you had better quality China, you could put the hot liquid in because it wouldn't destroy the cup, and put the milk in last.
Well, all I can say is I think that's an interesting fact, by the way, thank you. But I think, thankfully, we live in enlightened times now. Yeah. So I think my way of making perfect brews is right.
Well, I'm with you. I put my milk in after.
Yeah, because you can't gauge it. Although I did buy a bottle of milk last week, and it was well within date. But imagine my surprise when I took it out of the fridge, put it in my brew, and instead of milk, it actually resembled white treacle.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, well, imagine my feeling. I was gipping. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I can stomach a lot of things, but that I can't.
Yeah, I wasn't happy with that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's and as for the temperature of tea, do you know you should use freshly boiled water, like you said before.
Just off the boil.
Just off the boil. But yeah. Do you know why?
Go on.
Because it scorches the tea leaves otherwise.
Oh.
And it impairs the flavour.
Oh, well, I didn't know that. Good use of the word impair.
Yeah. See, I'm on the ball.
I like the word impair.
Impair. Yes.
I often like it when you see on tins of beans where it says, "Do not overeat, as this may impair the flavour of a baked bean."
And did you know that they're not actually baked beans?
I didn't know that, no.
There was a documentary on a couple of days ago, funnily enough, and they're actually steam boiled in the tin. They're not actually baked.
Didn't know that.
There you go.
So they bake them in the tin, then what? Put the tomato sauce in afterwards?
No, they put the beans in first, then the tomato sauce, then they seal the lid, and then it goes through a high-pressure steaming process where it cooks the beans and the tomato sauce actually in the tin. Very
clever.
It is, isn't it? It's really clever.
Have you ever eaten tins out of a bin cold? Out of a bin? Out of a bean can?
Beans out of a tin?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. on the last day of camping when we had no gas left.
Yeah, you've got to do it. I often go down Healedale, surviving.
Yeah.
Making a rudimentary shelter for myself.
Yeah. Cold baked beans and stale bread. That was what we had on the last day of our holiday.
That's all right. It's a decent meal in my book.
Yeah.
After last Christmas, where I survived on spam. Let's not forget.
Spam.
I did.
Yes.
When we
you like your spam.
I do like my spam after our power cut tragedy earlier this year. Or last year it was actually, technically, wasn't it? End of last year.
Yeah.
So, right. All right, I should get some music, but is there anything else, Andrea?
No, I think that's everything.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that, and thank you for informing us. I will try and put this up as a podcast later this evening, or maybe tomorrow morning.
No problems.
All right. Thanks for ringing, Andrea.
Bye.
See you in a bit. Bye. So that was Andrea there. That was a nice treat. See, we've learnt something there. If you want to get in contact with us, the line is now free. It's 0161 818 2627. Or you can get us on Facebook and Twitter. If you're on Twitter, it's at Reclaim Radio and the number 1. Right, Kyle here with another tune for you on Reclaim Radio. The Ballad of Peter Pumpkinhead, Get My Teeth In by XTC. See, this is why I don't do a show late at night, even though I've not been drinking. I just, I stumble over my words. Anthony, you asked before what the other song was. It was Something for the Weekend by the Divine Comedy, and not the Kaiser Chiefs, as you said. However, because it's a bit of a request show as well, I'll play this if you want. You're listening to Reclaim Radio and Kyle. So that was the Kaiser Chiefs there, and oh my god, I can't believe it. So there we go. I'm just trying to work out what songs I can play next. Like I said, this was just a trial, just to test some little new bits of equipment I've tinkered about with. So I might actually, let's see if I can do this quite easily. I'm not sure whether Duck will work. Oh, it does. So I can talk over this as a bed, you see. I like geeky things like this. So thanks for Fern and Andrea ringing in on this abbreviated 1 hour version of I need to think of a different name for the show, for the station's Reclaim Radio. So if anybody can think of an answer, then please post it to the Facebook group on Reclaim Radio. So Anthony has also been in touch about the remake of Are You Being Served? I recognise some of the cast. I recognise the guy who's playing Mr. Humphreys, superb actor. And I recognise John Challis as Captain Peacock, and Arthur Smith, who formerly did the Arthur English caretaker role. But yeah, that's coming up. I think all the comedies are coming up, but I think they're being put across BBC's 1, 2 and 4. So you might have to hunt around to watch them all. I did see Mrs. Brown's Boys the other week. Least said, soonest mended. But I'm sure some people like it. And hey, who am I to disagree? Right, since I'm coming up to the top of the hour, so what I shall do, I know we started a bit late, but I shall still trim it down to 50 minutes. Anthony was particularly impressed with Harry Roy and his orchestra and his song My Girls, so I shall play it with that. So thank you all for listening, it is much appreciated, and we shall see you all. I might do another show like this, possibly, coming up in the week. If not, I should be back on Friday at 7 o'clock. Okay then, so this is for Anthony. Have a good and safe few days, everyone, and I shall speak to you shortly.